And start. Hello there YouTube, Pierce here. I'm one of the co-founders with Why We Vape, and I'm bringing you our very first video. Today we're going to be talking about our mission at Why We Vape and what we're about, and where you can find us online right now, as well as reviewing the fairly still new Evic VT. There's been other devices that's come to market. This has been out for about a month now. I've had plenty of time to play with it. This is actually a replacement unit, but we'll get into the reasons why for that in just a little bit. Firstly, let me say thank you for coming here and watching the video. It means a lot to us. If you're interested in sharing the story of Why You Vape, you can find us on Facebook at Why We Vape. And then we also have a Facebook group that you can come and talk with us on. It's Why We Vape Family, and you can find that right through the main page. Now, our mission at Why We Vape is to bring you guys the absolute best vape reviews that we can do. We want to cover the devices thoroughly and unbiased so that you can make an informed purchase, so you know what features it has, so you know its flaws, so you spend your money on the device that fits you best. We also want to bring you safety. We want to make sure that you're charging your batteries properly, that you know the batteries to avoid, that you're building coils properly, that you know Ohm's law. We want to make sure that you have the best and safety tools to keep yourself safe. It does nobody any good if somebody blows themselves up. We also want to bring you the tips and tricks that you need to know as a vapor, ways to save money on your products, how to do fancy coils, and we just want to make sure that we have the best information available to you, including vape advocacy. CASA.org is a great tool for U.S. citizens to find the calls to action for laws that relate to you and your state. As far as international, I'm not sure what we can do for you, but we will do our best to keep you in the loop as to what's going on that's relevant to you. Many states have imposed a tax or are currently in the process of imposing a tax or a ban on electronic cigarettes. I am not a big fan of that term myself, and you'll always hear me call it a personal vapor. I don't like referring to it as an electronic cigarette because it's not a cigarette. It's not tobacco. It's not a tobacco product, and nor should it be labeled as such. But anyway, that is our mission. That is our goal, to give you the greatest in reviews, tips, tricks, safety, and advocacy. With that out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and bring us into the Evic VT kit. This is the full kit. It includes the mod itself, the tank, drip tip, a USB cable for the wall plug itself, and a silicone charging sleeve, along with a 0.2 ohm nickel coil and a 0.4 ohm titanium coil. Those are differentiated by a red and blue O-ring. The red O-ring is on the titanium coils, and the blue O-rings are on the nickel coils. It is very important that you only fire those coils in the proper temperature control mode. Firing it in wattage mode is going to leave you with a horrible taste in your mouth, probably coughing for the next 5 minutes. Anyway, on every box you will see the yellow Evic VT. That does not denote the color of the mod inside. That is actually set by the little mark right there. It's a handmade check mark telling you what color your mod is. On the back side here, we are looking at the serial number branding and the full list of what you get, along with an introduction. And we'll go ahead and crack this puppy open and see what we have inside. Keep in mind, I have opened this already and have used it a bit, so it's going to be not quite as pretty as when it was first packaged. You open it up, you find a nice little foam insert with the Evic VT sitting right there. You've got a nice little pull to get it out of the foam. We'll slide that out, set that off to the side for the moment. Pull out the foam insert, which is actually separated on me. Normally the foam backing for the insert comes out as well. Inside we have the warranty card with a scratch verification. Very important you hold on to this in case something goes wrong, like happened with me, and I'll explain that in just a little bit. You also get an instruction booklet. Comes in several different languages, starts off in English, and it's only about 7 or 8 pages to the next language. Yeah, it's 9 pages. No, 10. 10 total pages for each language, at least for 10 pages in English. Might be less in other languages. Then inside of here we have the paper insert hiding some more goodies, which are jumping out on me already. That's how happy they are to get out. We've got the USB, the micro USB cable, the silicone sleeve with the titanium coil and 5-volt 1-amp wall plug tucked safely inside. And then we have the tank with your 510 threading and 510 Delrin insulated drip tip, along with the 4 milliliter Ego 1 Mega tank. This is a very solid tank. I have not had any issues with it breaking, with it not unscrewing, with cross-threading, with anything. It has been a very solid and reliable tank. Compared to the Ego 1 XL tank, you can clearly see that the juice windows are much bigger on this, along with the tank, because this is a 2.5 milliliter tank and this is a 4 milliliter tank. Both tanks take exactly the same heads though. This is a 1 ohm and a 0.5 ohm head, and they both fit in each device. And the nickel and titanium heads look exactly the same, and I'll show you the titanium one in just a moment. But that's what the difference is between those tanks. You can run the nickel and titanium heads in the original XL tank, but why would you? It's 2.5 milliliters of juice versus 4. So I'm going to put my silicone protector on here because I have clumsy hands. So we'll get that in there nice and safe and snug. I want to show you a comparison between the Ego 1 XL and tank and the Joy E-Tech Evic VT and tank. As you can see, they are almost identical in height, clearly not as wide on the XL battery. Sadly, my XL battery has died on me, otherwise I would have had a backup this week. Now, what happened with this device, why I needed to replace it? I was heating coils on my Mutation XV4 for a build I did. To clean them as I was rewicking, the device shut itself off and didn't turn itself back on. Sometimes if the device shuts itself off, it happens from time to time. If it detects a short, all you have to do is plug it into the wall and it will turn itself back on. But in this case, sadly, the device was dead. If you are an intrepid individual and wish to disassemble, you have 4 star keys positioned across the top. You simply unscrew them and the whole assembly slides clean out. Battery, circuit board, and all. You have a fire button located right there. You have the controls located at the top. It's actually a spring-loaded side-to-side toggle. You have your micro USB port there and your plenty of battery venting on the bottom. Clearly this is where the 510 threading is. I'll pull this off and give you a look-see. It's a very solid 510 connection. There's no wiggle, there's no rattle. It is a spring-loaded connection. Works wonderfully on both my Mutation X V4 and this tank and the Ego 1 XL tank. I've not had any issues with any of those reading in the device. Taking a look at the main screen, we have, just make sure it stays on here, we have temperature and temperature control mode at the top. We have our wattage, our resistance, and our battery indicator. Now, all of these options are adjustable either on the main screen or through the menu. But let me show you how she vapes right now. I've got it set, as you saw, to 500 degrees Fahrenheit, 60 watts, and the resistance locked in at a 0.23 ohm with the nickel coil. The nickel coil does come pre-installed in the tank when you receive the device. So let me show you how she vapes. Now, with that, you can see it's a pretty good amount of vapor production. I'm going to turn it down to 400 degrees Fahrenheit so you can see how the vapor production in fact changes as you adjust the level of temperature. So this is at 400 degrees Fahrenheit here for confirmation. Now, it has been about a week since I have vaped, up until today, because I was waiting on turnaround time for this device, and as I said, my Ego XL battery had died on me, and I don't have any other backups. Now, the turnaround time from Vapor DNA, I purchased this for $72 with a coupon code and free shipping from Vapor DNA. The original ship time was about a week. That isn't necessarily their fault. USPS is horrible, and that's their main shipper. But the turnaround time on the replacement unit was staggering. I put the box in the mail to go back to them on Friday, and I received it the following Friday, which now is yesterday according to my clock. 1 week turnaround time for a replacement device is exceptional service. I will definitely be giving Vapor DNA a return purchase. They've got a customer for me for that type of service. Let me go ahead and show you the titanium coil head. Now, with the temperature control coils, they are actually a gold-plated base connection. The threading is still, I believe, stainless steel, but the base connection to, I believe, the positive is a gold plate. As you see, it does have the red O-rings on there to indicate it is a titanium coil. Now, compared to the 0.5 ohm CL head, there is significantly less wicking, at least wicking holes. I haven't had any issues with dry hits because that is one of the benefits of temperature control mode, is to alleviate dry hits, increase your battery life, and increase your liquid life. You will get more vapes per same amount of liquid than compared to a standard Canthal head. Now, the XL tank accepts the nickel, the titanium, the 0.5 ohm Canthal, the 1 ohm Canthal, and the CLR Joyetech rebuildable head for the Ego 1. That way, if you felt like it, you could rebuild your coils, but if you're going to be rebuilding coils, I would just get a rebuildable tank atomizer or a RDA. You're already building coils, you might as well not try and fit it inside something this size. That's my belief. They're only $4 a coil. The nickel and titanium coils are not a huge increase, even at brick and mortar stores, over the traditional CL heads in Canthal. So there's not a big price point difference there in long-term usage. Now, looking at the menu, we're looking at 3 clicks to get into the menu, indicated by blinking. When you go right on the device, you will change the menu option you currently have selected. So there are 3 modes: a wattage mode, a nickel mode, and a titanium mode. And as you get into the menu, you then hit left to move down the menu. As you move down the menu, you can adjust each option. In temperature control mode, adjusting the wattage will cycle between 30 to 60 watts, as Joyetech believes that the best ramp-up time is achieved with I must have been going the wrong way or took too long. So Joyetech believes that the ramp-up time is best at a minimum of 30 watts. So you can go anywhere between 30 and 60 watts, and honestly, the only real difference in temperature control mode with the wattage is the ramp-up time. Wattage is actively adjusted while you are vaping, and I'll show you that here. So I will hit the button, and you'll see the wattage go all over the place, and protection pop up here when the coil gets too hot. And I will push this all the way through until it turns off, and if you were to do this with a traditional Canthal head, you would fry the crap out of the cotton. So it just shut itself off, and let's see what happens if I try to get a dry hit. Nothing, just juice. All I'm tasting is Cosmic Charlie's Slamberry. So it does its job very well. And then with the resistance, you must lock in your resistance when you use the Joyetech Evic VT. If you do not lock your resistance, indicated by the little padlock there, the resistance will jump all over the place, and that will not work for temperature control, because how it determines what the temperature of the coil is how the resistance moves around. So you want to make sure when you lock the resistance that you're doing it with a non-fired coil. If you do fire it while installing it, give it about 5 minutes before you go to lock the resistance. If you do fire this in wattage mode, it is not a good idea. Nickel at high temperatures leaches airborne nickel, so that's why you don't want to fire it in wattage mode. It's just bad. You'll fry your cotton, you'll cook the wire. So don't fire it in wattage mode, nickel or titanium. And then finally, down at the bottom, we will be looking at battery life, puff counter, and total time vaped, and that's determined by holding the button down. So it's a nice little device, and let me go ahead and put on my Mutation X V4 for you here so you can see what it does in a variable wattage mode. Now, I am running a quad coil build coming in at a 0.58 with 28 gauge Canthal, 10 wraps on a 2.5 millimeter inner diameter. So it's a really nice cloudy vape. I'll have the airflow wide open here, and then I will change this to wattage mode. I will be vaping at 60 watts, and the voltage is automatically determined by Ohm's law between the wattage and the resistance. So tons of clouds, tons of flavor. I love the Mutation X V4. I'll be reviewing that when I get my simple clone in next week. But as far as an everyday vape goes, this is my go-to. I carry this device with me. It's nice. It has a good weight to it. As you can hear, that was that far off of the table here. It's got a good weight to it because you're carrying around a 5,000 milliamp LiPo in a package the size of an iStick 30. It does its job very well. I'm very impressed with Joyetech and the design they've done here. There's no battery rattle. There is a little bit of a button rattle, but I have no issues with the toggle not returning to dead center immediately. It charges in about 8 hours from a dead battery. I've never had any issues with connections, screen failure, anything. It's an all-around great device. There are some hidden features, such as I'm not sure if this is going to be stealth mode or a key lock. We'll see. So that is likely the key lock. Yeah, that was the key lock I just activated. Now you do that by pressing the fire button and turning to the right at the same time. That's how you lock and unlock the device, so it doesn't adjust itself in your pocket. And then you can also do a stealth mode, where the screen only shows up if you tap it. If you're actually firing it, oh shit, I just launched that in wattage mode. I came very close to a disaster there, folks. I just told you not to do it, and I did it. Anyway, when you fire the device, the screen turns off. So if you're in bed next to your sweetheart in a dark place, whatever, you're not going to have the screen pop up on you. It is a little bit difficult to read in bright sunlight, but a quick hand over it and you can see it. It is a nice OLED screen. It's bright. And then if you go 5 clicks, you turn the device off, and then 5 clicks, you're vaping again. So, and then the very last hidden feature is 20 clicks from dead. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And you see the firmware version. This does not support firmware updates from the micro USB. That is for charging only. So any firmware updates are only going to be present on newer model Evic VTs. With that is all I have for you. Please check us out on Facebook at Why We Vape, our main page, and join us on our group, Why We Vape Family. Give us a like, give us a share, let your friends know, and we'll be back soon with another review. We've got several sponsors lined up, and some devices coming in, and some juices coming in, and I've actually got the entire Happy Buddha line that I would love to review for you guys just as soon as I get through taste testing it all. Anyway, guys, that is all I have for you. You have a great one. Please subscribe, like, share, whatever you got to do, do it. Vape on, and have a great day.